Hi friends, it's your boy Cranberry Enthusiast coming at you, not live, but pre-recorded as per usual. Hi, hope you are having a fabulous time, fabulous day. Oh boy. I thought I would use this video kind of talk about my exciting and adventurous car adventures that I had in the year of our Lord 2024. So it is February 2025 in the year of our Lord 2025 as I record this. But yeah. So yeah, if I've touched on this a little bit in some other videos, but I've never, as far as I know, I've never gone out and been like, yeah, so this is kind of what happened to me this year. Yeah. So it all started in May of last year. So May of 2024. That month was the first, or I was starting to be like, okay, I'm actually like, I'm feeling better. Like my health is getting better, which is a whole other video. I did a whole video kind of talking about that, a really long video if you want to check that out. But anyway, so I'm starting to feel better, and I begin to notice like my car, my Mustang that I'm driving, it's starting to act a little bit weird. Like some of the lights suddenly start flashing, or just something that's where I'm like, okay, that's weird, but I was always so busy or doing something or too distracted to kind of sit down and be like, okay, what's actually going on here? Anyway, I'm driving home from work one May day, and I'm just driving along. Suddenly, the entire car lights up like a Christmas tree. All the warnings go on. It's May. It's a warm spring afternoon, and I'm getting a warning that there could be ice on the road. And just suddenly, all the warnings go on, and then suddenly everything goes dark, and so the gas gauge goes to zero. The speed goes to zero. I'm still cruising along at 40 miles an hour down the road, but it feels like I'm driving a dead car, basically. And fortunately, I kept driving along until I reached the first stop sign and came to a stop, and then tried to begin again, and the car totally died upon a bridge, actually, over a small little river. And yeah, so fortunately I've got AAA, which by the way is a very nice investment to have, especially if, well, just really nice to have. And I was fortunately able to get the car towed home and figure out what's going on. Turns out what happened was the alternator, which is a fancy word that means the device that it uses the spinning of the wheels of the car to create electrical energy. So it's the way that, if you're familiar, when the engine's running, and I guess it's just the engine running, it's not the wheels of the car per se, but while the engine's running, it charges the car battery. And so basically my battery was fine, but the device used to charge the battery inside the engine had totally died out, and so the battery was not being charged, and so my car didn't have electrical power. So that was that issue. So after a painstaking process of getting the new alternator and putting it in, it was running fine, and then I'm driving home from a get-together thing, and suddenly there's a small explosion in the car. Steam or smoke, I wasn't even sure which, it was steam, starts pouring from the hood of the car, and my engine flies into the red. It's way overheating, so I just have to pull over and shut everything down, get it towed back to the house again. What happened there was a plastic component that probably shouldn't actually be plastic, but there was a plastic component inside the car that had literally ruptured. And so the whole like part of it like exploded outward and spewed coolant everywhere. And yeah, so after another really painstaking process of getting a new part and getting that all put together, I'm driving all right again. And then I'm driving home from a church, and suddenly the car flies into the red again, temperature-wise. And what I guess happened was the new part I got was actually, they don't make them like they used to, and the part was faulty. So I ended up like cobbling that together, taking some stuff from the old broken part with the new part and able to get it to where it was functional. Anyway, so I'm driving the car again. So the car's had 3 notable breakdowns. And then anyway, I'm driving along, and the car is clunking into different gears. It's like it doesn't feel like it's driving right, which transmission is what they call the part of the engine that handles the gears of the car, so to speak. And so it seems like the car's having transmission issues. So I take the car and we take it to a shop, and they flush out the transmission, because apparently with my car you can't do that yourself. Some cars you can do it yourself, but anyway, they found it's nothing crazy. There's just some sediment in the transmission, which is apparently something that naturally occurs after cars have been around or been driven for so long, or something like that. So that happens. So that car like breaks down, like 4 different times. Thankfully, I'm really blessed to have access to different backup cars. I'm driving one of them right now, but throughout all of last year, these backup cars go through a host of different issues. One of them, the car I'm driving right now, leaks coolant like crazy, and we haven't been able to figure out what's going on. The alternator went out on another car, so I had to get that alternator replaced as well. The battery also, like the battery connection was weird at that same car. Another car, the gas gauge stopped being reliable. I went down to Kentucky and visited my girlfriend, and when they were replacing the oil in her car, they didn't do something right with the filter, so the car was just spraying oil everywhere, and basically, so her car basically had no oil. So, yeah. So all in all, there were like at least 10 different instances of car issues happening with me. And I mean, it got to the point where it's like, I really do like my Mustang, but I don't have the money or the space to properly, care for it and use it. Because good thing I need a reliable vehicle that I can drive to work, or also, if I'm driving somewhere, I can, drive it, take it out of town. Like I need a good, reliable working car that I don't have to spend notable amounts of time performing maintenance on, how I've been doing it. So that's anyway. So it's 2024 was just a crazy year in a lot of ways, but especially when it came to car issues. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that 2 tires blew out on one of the cars as well last year. One time I was driving, one time I wasn't driving the car, but yeah, so just car issues galore. So fast forward to now, it's February 2025. I've been test driving some cars. I've been looking at trying to get a new used car. Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm definitely experiencing the weird situation where it's like, okay, I only have so much money, but I want to spend enough money that I'm getting a decent car that's going to last me a long time. Like, I would rather spend a larger amount of money up front and less money, and ultimately over 10 years or so, or even just 5 years, have it be a lot less expensive than to spend a little bit of money right now than it to be really expensive with major repairs and different issues and stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And yeah, been looking at different models and stuff. I'm hoping also to get a car that has much better gas mileage and stuff. But it's yeah, we'll kind of see where that goes. Again, it's February as I record this. I'm really hoping by the end of this month to actually have that car. But yeah, and we'll also have to see too, because car insurance costs crazy money. I mean, we could do a whole video talking about just my perception of the United States economy right now and where things are at. 'Cause things have been pretty crazy, and now that I am actually I have been given a lot of breaks and a lot of advantages that unfortunately a lot of people don't get. So I've been very blessed in that way to have those types of privileges and stuff. But like, you know, even like looking at the bills and things that I pay, and you know, with me working full time as well as doing some side hustle stuff, I mean, it feels really cool to say that I'm a professional musician, because I actively make consistent money from my music and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely crazy times, but hopefully things will get a bit better. And I think car insurance, the older you get, car insurance tends to get a little bit better as long as your record's okay. And you know, yeah. But unfortunately, when you are a young man, car insurance tends to be a lot higher, because statistically young men have are the most reckless with their vehicles. So I've been told. I don't know. Everything's a conspiracy. But yeah, so anyway, thankfully this year I did have a flat tire, but it wasn't anything major, and I have had, you know, to work with this car. This morning I had to put more coolant into it and stuff. So I've had, you know, some different car issues, but thankfully they've been kind of relatively minor. They've been relatively minor. And one major thing that I've really blessed with now is I'm a lot more familiar with cars than I used to be. I'm a lot more familiar with the way that they work. Man, this camera angle is kind of really weird, isn't it? But anyway, that's what we currently work with right now. So yeah, I'm definitely hopeful that my next car that I will hopefully get relatively very soon, hopeful that car is going to be a really good and effective car. So we shall see where all that goes. So thank you all so much for watching, for tuning in. Definitely comment down below, what kind of crazy car issues have you ran into? And what's your favorite type of car? And do you like cars? Or do you wish that we could kind of go back to horse and buggy type things with maybe like more advanced, like horse carriage, so that, you know, it has like heated seats in the horse carriage or something. Oh, I should set up a fund too to get me a better system. Anyway, and that's gonna be really cool too. Once I have a car, I have an actual good camera stand thing that I can hook to the windshield. So looking forward to that. I've been holding off on using it on one of these cars because these cars are backup cars that, yeah, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you all later.